Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports. This is the post-fight for Alexander Povetkin versus Christian Hammer, or Hamer, whichever way you want to pronounce it. Well, for those of you who are wondering why there wasn't a live commentary, there actually was a live commentary. It just wasn't live on BWTM at the time, but I have recorded it, and I will be uploading that live audio commentary afterwards, so you can go back and listen to the fight afterwards to clarify what I was saying now in this fight. So it'll be uploaded within the next half an hour, 45 minutes. Now, Povetkin versus Hammer coming into the fight. I spoke about the stats. I spoke about the fact that Hammer hadn't been stopped since 2010. Looking at his record, he had more wins in his record than losses. The last time he got stopped was by Maris Vac in 2010. He fought Tyson Fury in 2015, and Tyson Fury was only able to retire him. The big punching David Price couldn't stop Christian Hammer. So would have been shocked if Povetkin could have stopped Christian Hammer. That didn't happen. The fight went to points. The most interesting thing about this fight, to be honest, is from round one, and I hate to see when guys start touching gloves. As I said in my during the interview, I got the impression that from round one, Hammer was there to survive, and he was there to be a sparring partner. This wasn't meant to be. He had no intention to beating Povetkin. I do truly believe. I actually believe that in the lead up to the training for Hammer, he believed he could beat Povetkin. I believe he was in good. If you look at Hammer, he was in good shape. So he did come in good shape. He didn't turn up to the Moscow out of shape and flabby. He was in good shape. So that's an indication there. And he went the 12 rounds. The second thing is, I believe that somewhere in between him landing in Moscow and him doing the ring walk, something was said that said to him, you know what? You're here to win the fight. You may have intention to win the fight, but get paid nicely and go home and not ruffle any feathers, and we'll pay you more. And that's what it seemed like to me tonight. Hammer turned up and had no intentions to win, but to tuck up, stay tight, and to see the 12 rounds out. And that's exactly what he did. Now, why Hammer kept touching gloves listen, he touched gloves more cleanly than he landed punches on Alexander Povetkin, which says it all. There was at a point where the touching gloves were like, don't hit me punches. They were like, don't hit me too hard. You're going to knock me out. Don't hit me too hard. Oh, well, that's going to knock me out. Well, that's going to hurt me. Like they were sending signs to one another. That's going to hurt me. Don't hit me too hard. No, okay. Don't hit me too hard. Don't hit me too hard. Tie me up. Hold you up. If I hold you, if I tie you up, if I touch you, then you know what? Just lay off a bit. That's what it seemed like to me. That Hammer had just come to stick around for 12 rounds. And there were times when Povetkin hit him cleanly and hard, he smiled at Povetkin as if to say, well, hold on, what are you punching me for? I've come here to Moscow and I've been treated well and nice, and you've been nice to me in the build-up, and we've been all good friends, and now you're punching me up here? What are you punching me up for? It was that look on Povetkin, on Hamer's face to say, why are you punching me? And like he didn't realize what the arrangement was, that he signed up to fight Povetkin, a guy who could knock you out. That's what it seemed to me. And that's all I saw for the fight. So unfortunately, Hammer didn't tell us anything different about Povetkin, apart from he's not the puncher that everyone thought he was, based on previous knockouts of Takam and Perez. So he's not that monstrous puncher. The other thing I noticed about Povetkin, good things I saw. I liked the way he stepped back and was able to hit Hammer with 2 double left hooks. I like that. That was some good work there. The combinations, they're a bit predictable. It's the same combinations all the time. Double, triple left hook. I do like him double and triple up the left hook. Don't get me wrong. Left hook, right hand, double left, triple left hook, or 1, 2, 3 through the middle, or left hook to the body, or double left hook to the body, and then right upstairs, or left uppercut, single shot left uppercut. So I didn't see any time Povetkin trying to like shimmy. I didn't see him trying like feint with a jab, come over the top of the right hand. I didn't see him feint, throw the left hook and comes with the right hand. I didn't see that, or go with the right hand, throw the left hook. I saw him following Hammer around the ring, and he did try and cut the corners off when he felt like it, and then he went straight at him. I like to see when Hammer was moving to his right, moving towards his right, cracking with the right, and when he moved to the left, cracking with the left hook. So move with him the right. So what Povetkin could have done was when he was moving him to the ropes, when Hammer was moving to the right, follow him to the right. But as he was going to move to the left, get your body weight ready. So when he moved to the like, actually move him into the left hook. So there's more power in it. So I like to see Povetkin do that sort of thing, set those sort of traps for him. More body work. One left hook to body is nice, but let's see you double up, double that left hook to the body, or left hook right hand, and then come up the stairs. Let's see different things from Povetkin. So he seemed very one-paced, very methodical, workman-like performance against a guy who didn't come to fight. So those are my thoughts on the Alexander Povetkin right there. And his head movement, he was just there to hit all the time. I'm sorry, but against the world's best, that's not good enough anymore. I'm sorry. That may have been good against a guy in Moscow, and he may do good in Moscow, but I don't think he, outside of Moscow, I'd like to see how Povetkin fights. So not particularly impressed with the Alexander Povetkin's performance tonight. He wasn't one that shouted world class to me. And Hammer didn't come to fight, as I said before. Didn't expect him to. There was no way that Hammer was coming to Moscow and upsetting the script. Would be interesting to see what would happen if Deontay Wilder came and fought Povetkin in that much awaited fight. What would have happened? Whether Deontay would have fired off that right hand in the same way. Whether you know, it would be interesting. I want to see how a top legit heavyweight who has got everything to lose come to Moscow and fight Povetkin, how they fight. I want to see how that happens. Not a guy who's already lost fights, who can always rebound. I want to see him fight a fresh guy who wants to fight, who wants to cause knockouts, and wants to cause damage. That's what I want to see Povetkin in against. So Povetkin versus Joshua in London, I'd like to see that there. Or in Cardiff, or wherever. I'd like to see Joshua v Povetkin. That's a nice fight to see. I'd like to see Pulev versus Povetkin. I'd like to see that. Maybe in Pulev's backyard and not Povetkin's backyard. I'd like to see Povetkin versus Ortiz. Another fantastic fight I'd like to see. So they're fights I'd like to see in the near future. They're fights I'd like to see in the near future. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with the whole Povetkin story and how it moves on from here. But I can't honestly tell you that I'm impressed with the whole Povetkin. He'll be world champion. He's world class. But he looked okay tonight. The other thing I was interested to see when Povetkin was throwing his punches at the time, he kept shaking out his arms all the time. That was a sign of, for me, lactic acid building up in his muscles. And he's not a tremendously bulky guy, Povetkin, but he seemed a guy that, you know, in round, say like round 9, round 10, he seemed to be flexing out his muscles and shaking out, like the lactic acid was building up. And he looked tired as well, Povetkin. So these are things that I do bear in mind when it comes to Alexander Povetkin. If you're just tuning in now, don't worry. I have done a live audio of Povetkin versus Christian Hammer, which will be uploaded as soon as this video is over, so you can listen to it and hear my thoughts on it. But like I said before, didn't expect for Hammer to come in and fight. Didn't expect Hammer to put up much resistance. And any resistance he may have thought of putting up or trying to win the fight was spoken out of him very early. He looked like I said, he looked like a fanboy who'd come to ask for autograph and got the opportunity to get in the ring and box with Povetkin. And every second he got a chance, he was trying to touch gloves and hold and cuddle Povetkin. That is not the performance of a guy who wants to become world champion. That certainly wasn't the same guy that fought David Price, because had he fought that way against David Price, he would have got iced by David Price. That was not the guy that fought David Price. I'm sorry. So I'm sure that wasn't the guy that fought Ergen Tepper either. So it was a sparring partner mentality performance from Hammer. Congratulations to Alexander Povetkin. Where he goes from here, God knows, but it is what it is. I'll see you guys a little later with Billy Nelson at 10 p.m. tonight, and Asgarter here as soon as I can get him on the line. See you soon, boxing fans. This is BWTM Sports, and we're out. Don't forget to hit subscribe, leave your comments. We're out of here. Take care.